Good afternoon, guys. As we go on this path to try to improve ourselves each and every day, we have to remember, as Les Brown has shared with us before, and it's a powerful statement, and it's worth repeating. You are the one. You are the one that has to take full responsibility for improving yourself. And there's going to be endless ways you can improve yourself. And so look at your day today, right now, where you are. What is there where is there one area, one thing, one choice, having looked back on your day, that you could have done something differently where it would have turned out in a different way? Think about just one example today. And with that same power of that one different decision, imagine applying that each and every moment, every single day, and never giving up on that. You'll see profound changes. Have a great afternoon, everyone.
What are the best ways for youth to get started now in securing their financial future?
Well, it's not very complicated. It goes back to getting full use out of your own talents first. I mean, the difference between whether you're going to be earning X or 2X or 3X a year 20 years from now is going to be a function of how well, not how much talent you have, but how well you use the talents you already have. And so that is your best financial future is your own ability and your a capacity to use those abilities to their potential. And that can't be taken away from you. They can't even tax it. I mean, most things, if you own a piece of real estate, if they double the taxes, they double the taxes, and that changes your ownership in the property, because now, in effect, the taxing authorities own more of it because they've got a greater command on the revenue stream. The same thing about almost any asset you have, but they don't tax what's in your head, and they don't tax your ability to start performing when you get to work in the morning and finish in the evening to your potential. One of the things that amazes me is how people who really do perform well just sort of jump out at you once you're running a business. When I got out of school, I thought, everybody would behave that way, but they don't. Most people sort of go through life in a sleepwalk, and if you don't, you will stand out. So the biggest thing for your financial future is yourself.
Most people sleepwalk through life because they don't love what they're doing. You wake up and you don't love what you're doing. You feel like it doesn't matter. You feel like nobody will care if you show up or you don't. And if that was your day, if you today felt like, you know what, it doesn't matter. I show up, I don't show up, I make, I don't make, nobody's gonna really care. If that was not just today, but tomorrow, the next day, the next day, the next day, if that was every day of your life, how sad would your life be? This is why we have so much anxiety and depression and suicide, is because people feel like they don't matter. And we want to matter to others. It's wired into us. We want to feel like we are important. We want to feel like what we're going to do today is going to create some kind of meaning and impact on somebody else's life. We are built to serve. You want to help. It's not enough to want to do something just for yourself. You want to feel like you matter to somebody else today. Most people sleepwalk through their lives, never feeling like they meant anything to anybody, especially in their work. And it's why a lot of people default to entrepreneurship, to try to say, well, here's my chance to be my own boss. Here's my chance to live my own life. Here's my chance to do something that matters without just being some cog in a corporate machine. But unless you connect the work that you're doing to serving and helping other people, you still won't feel great. When I first started in my business, it was really, really hard. Both businesses, but the business where I helped inspire entrepreneurs, and I got asked to speak. And I remember just loving the speaking part. And at the time I was doing a speaking gig a month or so, and just wasn't getting enough feedback. I'd go and it'd be amazing. I'd be so nervous and so scared to get up on stage. But then the end would be so amazing, and to see that you help somebody, you know how good it feels to help somebody. You know how good it feels to make somebody smile or laugh or cry, or for them just to say thank you. You know how good it feels when somebody says thank you for what you've done for me today. That is more valuable than whatever they're paying you for your product or service, right? We all want that. That's the good thing to get addicted to. So when I first started speaking and helping, I was getting that once a month and doing a speaking gig, but then I wasn't feeling it throughout the month. This is the hard part of being an entrepreneur, especially at the beginning, where you don't have enough feedback. You're not feeling valuable. It takes too long to get your product to service or service to market to see the action that your customers are getting from it. And so I had to remind myself of what I was doing. I had to remind myself, I made a PowerPoint file where I looked at my comments every day, the feedback that I was getting. Even though it was for 3 weeks ago, I still looked at the feedback again to remind myself of what I was doing was important. When I started my YouTube channel, I didn't get any feedback. I wasn't getting any comments, right? My first video took a year to get 3 comments, and it was my mom, my older sister, and then some random guy. So I wasn't getting a lot of feedback. But I still would look at my comments every day just to feel like, hey, this is important. Like if I got 1 comment a week, I'd be so happy. It's like, yeah, I see that person. I helped that person. I got to keep going. I got to keep making, got to keep creating. And even to this day, it still is among the most important things that I do. I'm pretty in love with Discord right now. I created my own Discord server. You can join Believe Nation. It's evancarmichael.biz. It's free. And I'm in there every morning right now just helping. And it's one of my go-tos right now for how I start my day. I look at my calendar, I set my intention for the day, and then I'll go to my Discord server and start helping people. Because having 1 million views on a video or however many subscribers or whatever does not feel as good as going into Discord server and helping one person believe in themselves a little bit more. So you have to figure out a way to make it not a sleepwalk every day, to make it feel like you're doing something that matters, that you matter, that today is going to matter, that you show up in a way that matters. So let me break down a couple things that I think can help. Number 1 is the big picture has to matter. This is why people struggle in jobs, because you feel like nobody cares, right? This job doesn't mean anything. The company doesn't care if I'm here or not. Even the company's mission isn't that important. You don't feel connected to what you're doing every day. You have to feel connected to the mission. If you're an entrepreneur, it's a lot easier, but you have to be doing work that you actually think matters. A lot of entrepreneurs start a company just trying to make money. You're just trying to pay the bills. You're just trying to make some cash. You're just trying to look at the hot opportunity. And if you can't connect to the reason why you're doing it, the mission, you won't win. The number 1 rule for success is you have to love the thing that you're doing. If you're doing it just to make money, making money is important. It is important. You have to do it. It needs to be in your top 5, but it can't be number 1. What is number 1? You have to design your business that you feel like you're on a mission, that you're here to serve, that you're doing some kind of good, that you may not be there yet, you may not be accomplishing anything close to it yet, but it's the goal, it's the mission that you're trying to go off and achieve. So number 1 is you have to feel like on a big scale, on a macro scale, that if it all plays out, this is going to really, 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 really matter to you, but to other people as well. 2 is the micro wins have to be there. You know, it's the big why and the little why. So the first one is the big why. The big why, what am I trying to accomplish? The second one is the little why. The little why is the daily little wins. You could be inspired by your big why. It could be driving you, it could be fulfilling you, but there will be many days where the big why is not enough. There'll be many days where you feel like you can't do that big why. That who were you to think you could do that crazy big thing? That it's never going to happen, that you're not going to make it, that it's just not worth it. There'll be many days where you feel like that, especially when you don't see any traction or momentum happening. That's where the little whys come into place. The little why is the daily little feeling like, hey, I did something to help one person. I may not be able to impact the world today. I may not be having a life-changing product or service or launch or video or whatever, but I can help one person today. That's why I go to the Discord every morning. That's why I'm in my comments every day, because my big why is to change the world's biggest problem. People don't believe in themselves enough. I'm never going to do it. And there are days where that feels way too big and too scary. I channel that into this. Like this video, I want this video to matter. I'm sitting here in the parking lot in my car while Nina's at a pet store getting stuff for the dogs, right? I'm just talking to my cell phone. But I want this video to matter. I want this video to touch you. I want this video to have some kind of meaningful impact, that maybe this is the day, the way that I say the words, the energy that I show up with, maybe, just maybe, this is a day that you finally go off and make some kind of change. Maybe today is the day. That's my sincere hope. And I need to still feel like I'm touching somebody, that talking to my phone is not enough. So going to the Discord server, talking to people, encouraging them, giving them some love, just saying good morning, just helping people. It's crazy doing DMs in the morning on my Instagram and spending 8 seconds making a video for somebody and then seeing the reaction. Like, you don't know how much this video meant to me, that you would send this. It's coming to me at the right time today. I really needed that encouragement. It took me 8 seconds to do, but it changed somebody's life, right? Is that going to help me grow my subscribers or comments or revenue? No, right? But it feels really good. And you need those little whys. So what are the things that are connected to your big mission, but are really small, but it's a individual that you can help one person? That by you helping one person today, you've got your little why that can give you the motivation to keep going. How do we stop sleepwalking through life, right? Big why. You're on a big mission that you're trying to accomplish something huge. Step 2 is the little why. We feel like today is going to matter to somebody, to one human, even if it doesn't accomplish our big mission. Step number 3 is to pay it forward. You know how good it feels to get a comment, to get a video, to get a personalized message for somebody to help you out. Pay it forward, especially to small creators. My ask for you would be, if there's somebody that you follow, somebody whose journey you're following along with, maybe it's your friend who's posting, maybe it's some total stranger who you found some of their content. Go give them a little love. Go give them a review on iTunes. Go give them a comment on their YouTube or Instagram or wherever you're following them. It means so much. If it's a giant channel or someone who's been doing it for a long time, I don't see all the comments that come in. Don't leave a comment on, leave a comment on the videos, but it doesn't mean as much anymore as it used to, right? Because we get so many, so we're spoiled. So the big creators, don't worry about it. You can, it's always good karma to spread positivity, but if you had to pick for the smaller ones. Because just one person saying, I see you, just one person saying, thank you, just one person saying this message meant something to me, just one person having that belief is the difference quite often between them quitting and them following through. Your single message today to somebody is going to be the difference, I promise you, for somebody. If you do that every day, it will for sure be the difference for quite a number of people between them quitting and them continuing on, because you took 15 seconds to send a quick message to them. So big why, little why, and then pay it forward, especially to the small creators. We got to get out of the sleepwalk, guys. We want to feel like we matter. We want to feel like today matters. We want to feel like the work we do matters. And the best way that you can inspire people, you want to help the people around you, you want to help your community, you want to help your family, you want to help the people who might see you, you want to help people, the best way to help them is for you to stop sleepwalking, is for you to start doing things that matter. It's not for you to just make an inspirational video. It's through your actions that if you showed up today and decided that you're going to remember your big why, that you're going to serve with your little why, that you're going to pay it forward to other people, when you see the impact that can have on their life, it makes you reconnect to why you do what you do. And if you woke up and did the thing that made you remember why you do what you do, and you felt it, not just words you're telling yourself, but you genuinely felt it, holy cow, look out, because life starts to get really, really good.
Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight all of the lessons learned in this video, as well as pull out our 3 favorite learnings and quotes that will inspire you to actually do something. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you.
Azúcar no sea mala fe, pa' que se mezclen a mi piel café. Padre negro, madre blanca, los colores más bacanos. Por eso es que veo a todo el mundo como un hermano. Yeah.
back straight, eyes closed, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Feeling that power you have, your determination to control your breathing. The same way you can take control of your mind anywhere you are, whatever you're doing. Let's use that same power, that same determination to see in our mind the image, the visions that we want to create today in our lives. Let's see ourselves doing the best we can on all of the stretches and exercises we do together here and now. Let's use that power we have, our true being, our presence, our determination to see in our mind right now, go into the future. Think about what you want to make real. Bring it to the present. That music goes off. All right, good morning, determination. How's everyone doing today? Another beautiful day here, outdoors. If you're indoors, wherever you are, let's go everybody, here we go. Another wonderful moment together. Another great day in the gym of life. Gym of life never ends. So here we go. We're going to start, when I say go, we're going to start jogging on the spot, doing the best jog we can, best jog we've ever done, or we can simply walk on the spot. So depending on how much space you have, we should be able to do this within the space that we have. So here we go. Ready everybody? When I say go, your best jog ever. Ready? And go. Still focused on our breathing. Through your nose, out through your mouth. Feeling the joy of you and in your body. Remember, you're the boss of your mind. Your mind is the boss of your body. Almost there. Let's go, everybody. Keep going. Feel the power of our heart starting to beat a little bit faster. Our breathing becoming a little bit more difficult. But feel our power still controlling our breathing. And stop. All right, back to our best walk, either side to side, or simply walking on the spine. But focused on our breathing. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Oh, wow. What a day. What another pristine, perfect day. Enjoy every moment, wherever you are. Enjoy this. Enjoy your power, your gift to always work on your mind and your body. Always in the gym of life. Okay, everybody, let's start with our 10 shoulder rolls forward. Here we go. Ready? And go. Feel the joy of you rolling your shoulders forward. Being able to do that. And backwards. All the way up and around. As high as you can towards your ears. All the way around. and stop. Let's do arm circles forward. Big arm circles. 10 forward. All right, now let's go backwards. Again, just feel the joy of you controlling your body to move through space. All through the power and control of your own determination. All right, good work everybody. Hands on your hips, bend your knees and side stretch. 5 on each side. All right, and let's do twists. Again, 5 on each side, feet flat on the floor. Really think about what you're doing. Really enjoy being in this moment, here, right now. The power of your presence. All right, everyone, and let's reach for the ceiling on our toes or reach for the sky, wherever you are. Here we go. Holding it for 10 seconds. All right, and now reach for your toes, straight knees. Again, feel the joy and the striving. Reaching for your toes, even if you can't touch them yet. Always yet. Work all the time. Very good, and come on back up. Okay, let's work on our balance. Grab one leg and find your balance. Bend the other knee if you have to. Hold it for 10. Pull that leg back. Feel the power of you finding your balance in this moment. Hold it. And switch to the leg. And bend that knee. And you've got roots going under your feet, going through the ground. You're immovable. Sit. Excellent. All right, and let's hug our knee this time. Bend the other knee if you have to. Big hug. And find that balance again. Hold it for 10 seconds. Lose your balance, you get it right back. Look at your mind controlling your body. Feel you controlling your mind. Right. And switch to the side. That balance, and that, and bring that leg up all the way up. Excellent, everyone. Let's do 5 push-ups together. Here we go. That's 5 push-ups. If you got to keep your knees down, go ahead. Whatever you do your best. 5 sit-ups. What a moment. All right, and let's do 5 squats. Our best 5 squats. Here we go. Feet flat on the floor, looking straight ahead, bending the knees all the way down, all the way up. All right, let's do lunges now. 3 on each side. Best lunges. Turn that back straight if we can, looking straight ahead. Excellent. All right, let's do 10-second plank. Belly's knees off the ground. Always thinking of what we're bringing ourselves back to our presence, our being. Okay, and let's sit down and reach for our toes, everybody. Here we go. Ready? Straight knees, we're reaching for your toes. Do the best we can. Always working on motivating our mind. Because we know our bodies will follow. And V shape with our legs, reaching for the floor as far away from our body as we can. Holding it there. And reach for one side, hold it there. Again, feel the joy of reaching, striving, doing your best. Even if you aren't able to reach where you want to be there. And switch to the other side. power of you winning right now. Control of your mind. All right, and let's put our feet together and gently push our knees down with our elbows. There we go. Hold it there for 10. Feel the power of infinite intelligence in you being always right now. Okay, one leg forward, one leg back. Go as far back as you can. Keep that knee on the ground. Put that knee down. Make sure you're not hurting yourself. You should just feel it pull, not anything. Okay, and switch to the other side. Alright, and let's roll onto our belly and push the ground or the floor and look up at the ceiling or the sky, wherever we are. Here we go, cobra stretch. Hold it there for 10. Feel the power of your being right here, right now. Okay, and legs crossed again, back straight, eyes closed. Breathing in through our noses and out through our mouths. Here we go. Going into the future, into our imagination right now. Seeing what we want to do our best on today when that music goes on. For me, I'm going to be working on 2 exercises. One is lunges, as many lunges as I can do within the first song. And the second song, as many sit-ups as I can do until that song's over. So what about you? See it in your mind right now. You can play 2 of your own songs. You can listen to the songs I have. But choose your own exercises. If you don't like the ones I'm doing, it doesn't matter. Whatever you're doing, whatever you want to do, whatever movement you want to do safely and effectively, see it in your mind right now before you bring it out into the world. You've got determination. You were born to win. To bring out all your visions, all your positive visions of yourself, of people, of the world. The way we do our best on these exercises when that music goes on, it's an expression, a reflection of the way we do our best at everything. Gym of life. Alright, here we go, determination. Lunges for me. You can fall if you want, or you can do whatever it is you want to do. Your squats, sit-ups, a dance movement, jumping jacks, whatever exercise you want to do. Here I go. Ready? All the time, trying to maintain good technique, good form. Best we can, always. Just feeling the joy, moving our bodies. Doing our best. That's winning. We're born to do that. No matter what. That's like put the arms out too, instead of just forward to the side. Change it up. Whatever you're doing right now, keep going. Remember your breathing. Don't forget your breathing. I love it. This is the best. This moment is the best. Wherever you are, wherever you go, you get to always work on being your best at whatever you're doing. And that starts with our determination, controlling our mind. Don't matter what. No matter how tired, how much discomfort we feel.
Mobile just sent me this solar wireless battery.
Get rid of that commercial for a second.
I really like the build. It's got handgrips on the side. It's sharp.
And we'll keep going. Keep going. We don't let anything stop us. Until that song's over. Every moment counts. If you're doing lunges with me right now, I'm proud of you. You're up. Keep going. As it gets harder, we work. That's how powerful we are. We have that determination, that choice, that winning choice. Keep going. Song's not over. Keep going. Your music, that stuff inside you, for me it's determination, and I know we got it all in all of us. So I use it every day. Let's go. You're using it now. Keep going. Music's still playing. Our music's still going. All right, next song. Proud of my effort. Proud of you. If you haven't given up, keep going. All right, sit up for me. Here we go. Always control your breathing. Bring it back to that. See the fact that you can still control your breathing. Even when your body wants to breathe faster, that's more proof of your determination. You got it in you all the time, no matter what. You can apply this, you can use this energy, whatever you're doing, wherever you are. The way you talk, the way you behave, the way you read, write, the way you're kind and loving, use determination. Use your power to be positive and never give up. Just like we're doing right now, on these exercises, on these sit-ups. We're not giving up, no matter how hard it's getting. See, we know the truth. If we do what is easy, we give up. Our life will be hard. But if we do what is hard, we never give up. Our life will be easy. So we gotta remember that all the time. That's the power of our determination. Controlling our mind. Motivating the mind so the body will follow. Keep going, determination. I'm so proud of you wherever you are. Because you are who you are. Striving to be better all the time. You are infinite intelligence. We are double I. Infinitely intelligent. Powerful beyond measure. choose to lose, we determine and win. Still with me? Keep going. I love you. So proud of you. Keep going. Even if you stop. Get back up at it again. Keep going. This is the way you're gonna live. Even if you stop, even if you get tired, even if you make mistakes, you're gonna learn. You're gonna get information. And you're gonna eventually win. How powerful you are. That's why I love you and all of us. No matter what. Oh, long song. That's okay. That's good. Love it. Keep going. Our body will rest and recover. Almost there. Keep going, everybody. Keep going. Oh, well done. So proud of you. Feel that? Feel that power? That oneness of us controlling our breathing and our minds? Right here, right now? No matter how hard our movements, exercises were today, no matter how much our body tried to take control of our minds, feel that? That's you. The real you. That's our consciousness. Our being awake fully. To control our minds, to control our breathing, to control our bodies, to control our lives. It's all possible through the power of you being present, staying in the now, right here, right now, wherever you are, wherever you are. There is no past and future right now. There's only the present, the gift that is you. That is you, which makes everything else possible. See, right here, right now, is just pure presence, pure happiness, pure winning, pure essence, pure determination of who and what we really are. With this power, this peace, right here in this moment, right now, we can always have all the mind health, and even greater, the mind wealth we were built for. I love your determination. Great work today. I'm so proud of you. Wherever you are, take the power of this time we had together, apply it to everything in your life. Doesn't matter whether we're in school, at work, wherever we are. The gym of life never ends. And life is the greatest teacher. That's why I love you and everything and all the infinite intelligence around us. It's life. It's always here. You're always learning, always growing. I love your determination. Have a great day, week, and life always. Until next time.
My big fear is that I'm going to prepare for the wrong guest and I'm going to open the door and someone I have not prepared for is going to be staring me in the face.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and like Tom Bilyeu says,
the only wrong move in life ever is standing still. Indecision will kill you. Mistakes will not.
so let's help you break free from indecision with Tom Bilyeu and my take on his top 10 rules for success.
I can't believe that we're meeting in person for the first time today. Need motivation? Watch a top 10 with Believe Nation.
Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Seek knowledge.
As Nelson Mandela said, education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. Wherever you are right now listening to this, I want you to burn that into your mind. The most powerful weapon that you're going to have at your disposal isn't a gun, it isn't a sword, it isn't a bomb. The most powerful weapon you will ever have at your disposal, if you really want to make change, is knowledge. It doesn't mean going to school. It can be books, it can be a mentor, it can be somebody else's failure, it can be your own failure. But whatever it is, to always be learning, to be learning something today, knowing that that's an investment. And as Robert Louis Stevenson said, don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but rather by the seeds you plant. And that's what knowledge is. That's what the learning process is you're learning something today that you may not even understand how it's going to be valuable. But one day, that piece of knowledge is going to come to your aid. One day, that thing that you learned is going to be something that you're going to lean on. One day, that thing that you've worked your ass off to understand better than anybody else in the world, it's going to help you change the world. But you have to be doing it now. You have to be learning with an obsession. You have to understand that ideas in equal ideas out, and that you have to chase that knowledge down, that it is a relentless pursuit, and that like you would build an armada, like you would create a stockpile of weapons, you must create a stockpile of knowledge. You must learn and learn and learn, and you must hold yourself accountable every day to planting those seeds, to getting better, to learning more, to understanding things more broadly. When you do that, there will be nothing that won't be unlocked to you. That's what I want you guys to understand. It doesn't matter where you are now. It doesn't matter where you started, your circumstances, the money, the people that you know, none of it matters. What matters is how much are you willing to learn? How good are you willing to get? How much knowledge are you willing to soak in? Because that will become your weapon. That will be how you rise up, and that will be the thing that will protect you when you need it most.
Rule number 2, don't stand still.
What tools can I use to help shut off my brain from the millions of ideas when I've chosen one to give all my energy and focus to? I left my job as VP of a major food company after 10 years a year ago to start my own business, and I struggle with being my own boss now that I only have myself to hold myself accountable. But this business is my livelihood and my future and my passion project. All right, I love this, man. I can relate to this heavily. All right, I've always said that the thing that sobers up entrepreneurs faster than anything is to have your house on the line. When you've got a wife, kids, just rent to make, whatever, even if you're a solo flyer, but you know you've got to eat, all of a sudden you become real sober about either something is working or it is not. And when it is not working, man, you better make a change and make a change ASAP. There's some real clarity to that. Now, I would say that you want, and I can predict the kickback I'm going to get on this, but this is the truth. And because I live it every day, as 50 Cent said, I came in the game humble. Can't nobody tell me now. You want to tie your identity to your success. It's dangerous because, oh my God, if you end up failing, you're going to have to backtrack real fast and get your identity back out of that. But we're going to save that for another class. For now, I'm going to tell you, hey, the fact that it's all riding on the line, the fact that you said you were going to do this, and now, baby, it's put up or shut up. Let that ride on you. Now be very careful. Don't let it create so much pressure that you become paralyzed, because that does not serve you. We do and believe that which moves us towards our goals. So we want the pressure, but not so much that it causes us to crack, not so much that it slows us down or, puts us in this death spiral, right? You never allow yourself to say the words, I'm out of moves. You're never out of moves. You're never out of options, right? There is always something else that you can do. Number one rule of being an entrepreneur, avoid a mortality event. The name of the game is to stay in business long enough to figure it out. It is very okay to not know what you're doing right now. It is very much not okay to stand still. The only wrong move in life ever is standing still. Indecision will kill you. Mistakes will not. Now we can get into the idea of dent the car, don't total the car, because of course, yes, you could make a fatal mistake. But those are usually pretty easy to spot. If you ask yourself, hey, if this fails, do I go out of business? If the answer is yes, don't even attempt it. Move on to something where the answer is no. Far better to take incremental steps towards your goal, to stay in the game long enough to figure out exactly what direction you want to be taking those steps in, than to do one sort of big, put it all on the roulette wheel and bet it all on black, okay? That we do not want to do. Stay in the game, tie your identity to that success, be all in. While I don't encourage people to burn the ships of the shore, I actually encourage people, keep your day job. You've already burned your ships of the shore, so you need to be honest that behind you is the flaming wreckage of your previous life. Now, probably good to hold a little nugget in your head reminding you that you can always get back to that because you have the skills, and skills have utility. But for now, we're going to close the door on that. That's going to be the break glass in case of emergency sort of notion. For now, we want to make sure that since we left our previous job, it's do or die, so let's do. Now, personally, I respond well to that. I love that. I love having things right on it. But I'm very careful not to let that overwhelm me. So the whole notion of overwhelm is outside the scope of this question, but I think you're in a powerful position. But you have to embrace the do or die mentality. So get in there, get after it.
Rule number 3, start with the goal.
As Friedrich Nietzsche said, many are stubborn in pursuit of the path they have chosen, few in pursuit of the goal. And that's one of the things that really trips people up. At the end of the day, a path is an option. It's one of the ways forward, but it's the thing that you're doing right now today. So people get really focused on that. They make their happiness built around that. They think about that as the thing. But as the old saying goes, don't confuse the finger with the moon that it's pointing at. That's where you've got to be really careful. At the end of the day, the goal is the thing that you're trying to achieve. The goal is what you're trying to get. The path is irrelevant. The path is really your best guess. It's the thing you think is going to work. But if you become myopically focused on that, if you think that the path really is the end thing, if you think the finger actually is the moon, then you miss the objective to which you're fighting for. Then you're not going to have the energy to keep pushing when things get really hard, because you're going to have mistaken the way of getting there with the destination itself. And I think that people a lot of times throw hate on having a destination, on building towards some big goal, of having some grand thing that they're chasing. But as Einstein said, if you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people, not to things. And the reason that he said that, people and things, they change. You've got no control over them. At the end of the day, the only thing that you really control is yourself. At the end of the day, the only thing that you can hope for is to be going after something that has meaning, something that has purpose, something that really gives you a reason for being, that directs your actions, that becomes the filter by which you judge everything, that really becomes the center, the gravitational center of your own universe. But it's the goal, not the path. So what is it that you really want? You have to identify that. To me, everything in life starts with a goal, and then you work your way backwards. Don't allow yourself to get caught up in other people and putting your happiness in somebody else and finding purpose in something else and trying to obtain things. Have it be something that you're trying to accomplish. Have it be something that you're trying to become. Once you're on the path to becoming, then you can find real happiness.
Rule number 4, live in the moment.
What steps did you take to separate business growth from personal growth? I often find myself confused on which one to grow, but I do know that if you don't grow, your business won't grow either. Any tips? So for me, they're inextricably connected. And my advice to anybody, whether you're a linchpin employee or whether you're an entrepreneur, there should not be any difference between yourself as a person and what you're doing as a job. You spend 50% of your waking hours at your job. 50% of your waking hours are at your job. So, and that's assuming, I think I did the math at like a 40 or 50 hour work week. So if you work as much as I do, where it's like 90 hours, sometimes more, then it's like, okay, at some point, like if there is a difference between who you are as a person, the things you want to learn and grow and get better at, and what you're spending all that time on, I don't think you're going to look back too favorably on your life. And quite frankly, I don't think you're going to enjoy it in the moment, because I'm not a legacy guy. I don't think about, like, I am not at all worried about what I'm going to think on my deathbed, because hopefully my deathbed isn't a very long endeavor. So I would rather live my life the way that I'm enjoying it right now today. Like, I'll just tell you, I'm going to regret on my deathbed. I will for sure regret not having kids. 100%. Like, that is so patently obvious to me. And when people ask, like, aren't you worried you're going to regret it? Not even a little bit, because I would regret having kids today. And today, hopefully, is a lot longer, because you got a whole lot of todays than your deathbed. So to me, optimize for what makes you feel the most alive every day in the struggle, because the struggle is guaranteed. So that's where I like to spend my time, thinking about that, thinking about the things that are making me the person that I want to become right now in the moment. If I'm fighting with something at work, that I'm still having to learn the skills that I would want to learn even if I wasn't at work. And so, yeah, that's it. And I think that you can find that whether you're a linchpin employee or whether you're an entrepreneur. You just have to select the company that you work for or the company that you create very, very, very carefully.
Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight all of the lessons learned in this video, as well as pull out our 3 favorite learnings and quotes that will inspire you to actually do something. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there. Rule number 5, face adversity.
As Michelangelo said, if people knew how hard I worked to achieve my mastery, it wouldn't seem so wonderful after all. And that's the thing about getting great. That's the thing about being an artist of such caliber that you're remembered for hundreds of years after your death. It is back-breaking work. It is a blinding amount of effort. It isn't about natural talent. That myth that some people are born with something that we celebrate so much is just that, a myth. You're born a lump of flesh. You can't hold your own head up. You may have predispositions, but that is a long way from actually crafting your ability until the point where it looks like magic. And that's the beauty of artistry, isn't it? That it's so unbelievable that you're more willing to believe that it was God-given, that they were anointed with it, than that they just worked their ass off. But the truth is, every one of the greats, no matter how much natural talent they were born with, they're remembered because they worked. They are remembered because they did so much work. Because in that work is hardship. In that work is difficulty. In that work is unbearable adversity. But it's in that adversity that the magic happens. And as Victor Hugo said, adversity makes men. Prosperity makes monsters. So I know right now you wish you'd been born with some talent. You wish that all those dreams that you had, they were yours for the taking, that you didn't have to put blood, sweat, and tears into it, that somebody would hand you at least something in the beginning, that they would give you some start, some spark. That's what the monster's created. If you really want to get hard, if you really want to get tough, if you want to get great, if you want to be untouchable because no one can bend or break your vision of yourself, then you have to suffer. That's the way of the world. And as Florence Nightingale said, I attribute my success to this: I never gave or took any excuse. And that's the secret. At the end of the day, if you know what you want, it's only a question of whether you're willing to pay the price to get there. So ask yourself, are you willing to pay the price?
Rule number 6, understand people.
If you almost play a game with yourself and say, I want to see if I can change the energy of somebody who's being difficult. I want to see if I can stay compassionate, generous, kind, warm through all of this. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes it's really hard, especially if it's your kids or your parents or your spouse. Like, it can be hard. I get it. But as we try to be our best selves and present ourselves in a way that's going to get us what we want, which is a harmonious relationship, which is the ending of the difficulty, by looking at what we could do to change that situation, you will be shocked at how far that goes. Figuring out how to point out the scaffolding of a conversation is huge. Breaking things down into small pieces, being generous in articulating their stance, recognizing a collision of values and knowing, hey, if we can't agree on where we're trying to end up, if we can't agree on what the value is, this is going to be a fruitless conversation. And the sooner you recognize that's where you're at and that you need to actually talk about the value or just go your separate ways, the healthier all of your relationships are going to be. And then just lead with kindness and recognize that people that think differently, that's important. And we shouldn't want everybody to see the world exactly the way that we see it. And if we can come at things from that perspective of trying to understand before we try to be understood, whoo-wee, you're going to find that a lot of that difficulty just goes by the wayside. And that's how I deal with difficult people.
Rule number 7, have faith.
As Helen Keller said, optimism is the faith that leads to achievement. Nothing can be done without hope and confidence. And that's the trick. It really is faith. It really is doing something even though you have nothing in the world telling you that it's real. It's something that you have to choose to believe in. It's something that is going to allow you to do incredible things simply because you believe that you can do them. But if you don't start with that optimistic belief, if you don't start by burning into yourself, by reinforcing over and over and over in your mind that things can and will work out, that your efforts are going to be rewarded, to believe to the core of your being that the harder you work, the more you're going to learn. The more you learn, the more you'll be able to do. The more you'll be able to do, the more you'll be able to manifest your dreams. But you have to start with that faith that that's real. Because it would be just as easy to look at the world and say that pessimism is the only thing that makes sense. It would be just as easy to look into the world and see only the negative things. But once you understand that you can choose to have faith that things are going to work, that you can believe in something long before you have the evidence for it. And you can believe in it because you know that's how the mind works. That we lead with belief. That's where humans generate their power. They don't generate it from seeing some evidence of something in the world. We generate our power by first believing that our efforts will be rewarded. You have to put that at the center of your being. And as Wayne Dyer said, be miserable or motivate yourself. Whatever has to be done is always your choice. So if you want to do something, recognize there's no obstacle holding you back other than what you choose to believe. And if you want to be miserable, it's going to be there for you. And if you want to be empowered, it's there for you. If you want strength, it is there for you. It's a decision. It's something that you decide to believe in, that you can get strong. And that ultimately is the ultimate strength, to believe that you can get better, to believe that you can become whatever you want to become. So choose optimism right now. Choose to let it fill you. Choose to feel it, to sit in that sensation that anything you set your mind to is possible. When you allow yourself to embody that, to believe it, no matter what anybody tells you, no matter how many people tell you that you're stupid, you're a failure, that you're never going to do anything, that you are going to believe in yourself. If you can do that, if you can choose that optimism, you can go anywhere because you realize everything you needed was in you all along. It was simply choosing to believe you could execute against it. So have that faith. Go out and do it.
Rule number 8, pursue honorable goals.
Working from home offers quite a bit of distractions. One I didn't think I'd face is bored eating during the workday. Where do you think bored eating stems from? How do you curb this habit? All right, bored eating is all about dopamine. So what happens is you start doing a task. That task is difficult. It has a high cognitive load. Okay. And when you think about the brain is about 3 pounds, and yet it consumes about 20% of your calories. So it is a tiny percentage of your overall body weight, and yet calorically, it is wildly demanding. So thinking actually is hard. And so when you get into something and you're thinking about it and you hit that sort of either it's boring, it's difficult, it's forcing you to face your inadequacies, whatever. It's the antithesis of the dopamine reward that you would get if you just pick up your phone, or God willing, that you can go eat something. And eating is one, especially if you're wired like me, eating is one of the biggest dopamine rewards that you're going to get. It is truly a drug-like effect. If that's you, then you need to put in parameters around your eating. You need to remember that you have a goal, you're working towards something, and this is critically important to understand. Going back to construct your life, you should be pursuing a goal that matters to you. Okay, your goal should be exciting and honorable. Okay, exciting in that you're amped up about it. Even failing at that thing is fun. And I think that's one of the most important questions anybody could ask themselves. What could I do and love even if I were failing? Now, you're always going to prefer winning at something that you love over losing at something that you love, but there really are things in your life that are interesting enough to you. It doesn't have to be some deep passion, but they're interesting enough to you that as you pursue them, they give you more energy than they take. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't have overhead in your life. We all have it. It's a great concept from Jeff Bezos, that no matter how much you love your job, there's always going to be overhead. There's going to be some percentage of your job that you don't like. I never need to work again, and yet I'm running a company where 30% of my time, a full 30% of my time is shit I hate. I don't just dislike, I actively hate doing it. 30% of my time is stuff that's fine, it's important, it needs to be done, not necessarily thrilling. And then only 40% is stuff that I'm ecstatic about. But I'm so excited by what we're trying to build, and I'm so sustained by the 70% that's either fine, important, but needs to be done, maybe not the most thrilling, but fine, and the 40% that I absolutely love, that I'm more than happy to slay the dragons of the 30% of things that I hate and for whatever reason I'm unable to outsource to somebody else. So I've got this exciting goal. It's honorable. I'm trying to help other people is what I mean by that. So it doesn't just serve me, it serves others, which is a huge dopamine reward for a social animal. Okay, that's critically important. So when I have that impulse to stop doing the hard thing and to go get something to eat, and I have even found myself getting up out of my seat, I'm literally 3 steps towards the kitchen. I'm like, what am I doing? And I sit myself back down. So it is crazy how fast you can slip into autopilot, that there is some part of your brain that's telling you to pick up your phone and look at it, to check your email, to go get something to eat. I think everybody feels those distractions. Understanding that's your brain crying out for a little dopamine hit. You've probably trained yourself to do that either through frequent eating or through just training yourself to look at your phone constantly, which they are designed to take over that mechanism, to shorten people's attention span, to make you crave that next hit. And so we're living in this crazy world of digital distraction where we're trained to have this shorter and shorter attention span to crave that dopamine more and more. So now you're going to have to do things to unwind that. Rules around eating have been very helpful for me. So I eat 2 meals a day. That's it, period, end of story. And I know when the day begins exactly what I'm going to be intaking. So my calories are always planned out, except for Saturday. Saturday, I go pretty hardcore. Sunday, I don't even worry about calories, but I limit the options. Like I don't eat things with sugar on Sunday, but I do on Saturday. So having rules that are extraordinarily strict. In fact, here's a great name for you guys to remember around strict rules: bright lines. I don't remember who coined that phrase. I think it's brilliant. So in your life, you need bright lines. What are things you allow yourself to do and don't allow yourself to do? And if you know, hey, this is what I'm allowed to eat through the day, that's it. Or even these are the times that I'm allowed to eat. I have very strict timelines around when I eat. So I eat my first meal usually around 8:30, 9 o'clock, and I eat my last meal, brace yourselves, I eat my last meal around 1:30 p.m. And so I have a nice 17 to 18 hour window where I'm not eating.
Rule number 9, look internally.
The world that we're all living in is our own construction, and I think that's the thing that people are missing. We have literally created this world, and if this world is delusion, if this world is destruction, if this world is filled with more bad than it is good, then that is a process of our thinking. That is a revelation of how our minds work. It is a revelation of what we have built internally. So as Leo Tolstoy said, everyone thinks of changing the world, but no one thinks of changing themselves. If we're actually going to make change in the world, if those things that you have in your mind, the vision of what you want to bring to the world, all of the ills that you want to correct, if you're actually going to correct them, you have to look inward and begin asking, how is this your responsibility? What are the things in your thinking that have helped manifest this world, that have manifested the problems in your own life, and that will, my friends, I promise you, manifest the solutions. And as Stephen Hawking pointed out, the greatest enemy of knowledge is not ignorance, it's the illusion of knowledge. We think we know something that we don't. We think we have the answers. We think within us already right now are the fundamental building blocks that we're going to need in order to build something new. But the truth is, the only thing that we already have is the willingness to look, the willingness to change, to leverage the things that we have, but we have to build something entirely new. We have to understand that we don't yet know enough, that we are not adequate, that we have to look at ourselves and be willing to stare nakedly at our inadequacies and to adjust them, to fix them, to not hide behind ego, to not pretend, or worse, believe that we're already who we need to be. Because the only promise I can make you is you're not yet the person you need to be to execute, to create the change that you want to make. But I can also promise you that you can become that. That if you're willing to do the hard work of looking internally and building something new, if you're willing to tear yourself down, if you're willing to brick by brick disassemble that thing that has been built by accident inside of you and move forward with a new level of intention and build something, an entirely new structure with your eyes open, with embracing and accepting a lack of knowledge but never ignorance, of not holding on to old ideas, but to ask of everything that you choose to believe, does this move me towards my goals or not? And if it does, then you do it. If it does, you believe it even more. But if it doesn't, right then, right there, you drop it. Then you make room for the new. Then you can build what you want to build. Then we'll have the change that we want.
And rule number 10, the last one before some very special bonus clips, is build your inadequacies.
As Gloria Steinem says, the truth will set you free, but first, it will piss you off. The reality is, if you want to achieve something great in your life, you've got to be willing to accept who you really are right now. You've got to know exactly what you're good at and what you're not. And the reason that the truth is going to piss you off is it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt to acknowledge that you're not yet who you want to be. It's going to hurt to know that you're not yet capable of the things that you want to be capable of. And it's really going to hurt to know that the things that people say behind your back, the things that they say to hurt you, that they're actually true, that they're right. They have a point. You aren't good at that thing. You aren't as good as you could be. You did embarrass yourself. You have fallen down. All of those things are almost certainly true. But when you can look at those things, when you can stare nakedly at your inadequacies, when you can really stop and not protect yourself with ego, but protect yourself by knowing that you're going to learn from where you failed. You're going to learn from the places you've fallen down. You're going to learn your inadequacies so that you can build something new, so that you can move from that place into a place of purpose, into a place of skill set where you can dominate the field because you've built those skills. But if you don't first acknowledge that you need to build them, you can never begin the process in earnest. And as Michio Kaku says, all great ideas come from a picture. You've got to know what you want. You've got to know what that thing is that you're building towards. You've got to know exactly who you're trying to become. And once you have that crystal clear vision of who you want to be, it is far easier to acknowledge who you really are. So you've got to start with that picture. You've got to accept the reality, pain and all. You've got got to have that picture. You've got to know where you're going. You've got to know what the skills are that you need to build in order to get there. And once you do that, once you have that picture, and that picture is your obsession, it's the thing that you think about, you dream about, you put it up on your wall, you tattoo it in your mind, you know exactly who you're trying to become. If you do that, if you're honest with yourself about where you are, and you know exactly where you want to go, you can go anywhere.